did you re-record all musical versions already made because you didn't like the first substance anymore? The new Conqueror, Worm, Sleep and Eldorado are all slower and less synthetic. Keyboards and electronic effects are totally banished in those new versions. No, not all of them. I actually quite like the instrumental version of the Conqueror Worm and Sanatorium Ad Rosa. I could have pronounced that German, but and even Eldorado from songs from the Inverted Womb, I was always fine with. The Sleeper, however, no, I didn't like that one a bit. Ironically, I thought that that would be the one track I would have the least trouble with, just record it again in superb quality and voila, job done. But, no. It's just never that easy. The very moment I put the CD in the player, I felt like running out of the room. God, it was dreadful. To me, the old version, was repetitive, boring, and generally awful. I mean, I did still like the melodies and all. They were beautiful. But the song needed serious improvement, which it got, and now it's perfect. Do you conceive the ancient body of art as something needing permanent recreation, updating? No. No one has done correctly in the first place. Only when the inner conflict, which had been the source and reason to create the song in the first place, hasn't been properly dissolved. In other words, when the topic is still relevant, then yes, it sometimes can be necessary to have a look at the song again. When there's an instrumental part in a song, is that a way for you to translate what the blank of the poem makes you feel? A manner to catch the listener's attention on something that he could not notice, because nothing is written between the verses. Yes. I remember a similar question from a German magazine, only with a more negative attitude, regarding the song To Walk Behind the Rose from Children of the Corn. I actually suggested that I had run out of words halfway through the track. I mean, imagine, yeah. What they obviously didn't know or understand was that even without words, you can still tell a story, simply by choosing your orchestration, your instruments accordingly. There is atmosphere, melody, all these things, they all have meaning. They transport information. They're not just pretty noise, In Dreamland, for example, there's a recurring instrumental phrase that has the same function as a chorus in a pop song. It repeats and emphasizes the essence of the song. Naturally, there's no such thing as a poem, a chorus in the original poem. So here the instrumental part gives you space and time. It allows for you to let what you've just heard sink in. Space is important in music. It's not just the notes. Why have you chosen to make an instrumental version of Alone, as in Alone 2, whereas there wasn't one on Voyager? How do you perceive the link between the two parts? Oh, it just happened. It needed a twin brother. That's how it wanted to materialize. It was just too complex for one entity. It's, as I just said, instrumental music does transport information as well. So, just listen to it, maybe you'll figure it out. Are there other poets you would like to explore through your music? No, not really. Could you tell me some words about the booklet which goes with the CD? I didn't have a chance to see it yet. Whom would you work with to create it? There are actually two different editions. The vinyl version and, as you just said, the CD book. The vinyl cover features an older photo from the Have You Seen This Ghost session, which is photographed by Ingo Römling. And that was later transformed by Natalie Schau. It also comes with two posters and a booklet of wonderful black and white illustrations by Keith Thompson, which is somewhat reminiscent in style of Harry Clarke's Poe drawings. It's all really beautiful and otherworldly, if you wish. The CD book, on the other hand, it features, 156 pages of mere photos. It's not meant to be particularly artistic. It's just photos, if that makes any sense to you. It's not supposed to be a visual translation of the poems. It's more like a simple private photo album. What's your favorite of Poe's poems? Oh, that's a funny sentence. I feel something very strong with The Sleeper when I'm listening to your version. My favorite poem has always been Dreamland. But that's not true anymore, because now it's Poetica in its entirety. That may sound odd, even arrogant, but I don't mean it like that. It's an entity of its own now. Poetica is my very own connection to Poe, the spirit of Poe. What does it mean for you to end this album with A Dream Within a Dream, the most lightful and maybe the most moving song of all for me? Which personal feelings does it reveal? A desire to leave life and vanish into the light. A Dream Within a Dream was the only possible conclusion of the album. It's the moment when I cannot hold back my tears any longer. There is a moment in the haunted palace when everything becomes quiet and there is the sound of wind blowing over the tops of the ruins. And that's when there's a chill running down my spine, literally. I can feel my heart in my throat. Everything, it's pulled together inside of me. And when the first notes of A Dream Within a Dream start, I can feel the tears running down my face every single time. It is a very sad song. You had told me when Children of the Corn was released that every piece of your work was like a seed that you could watch growing. What do you feel now when you're listening to the triptych of Ghosts? Oh, I still like it, fortunately. But of course it's completely different than Poetica. Ghosts was meant as a sexorcism. It is naughty, ironic, sarcastic, all that. And in comparison, almost loud. Poetica is the exact opposite of that. Do you regularly come back and listen to the previous works you've made? Or is there a detachment phenomenon for you once the thing's done? Both. I do feel detached from my old recordings, like they were done by someone else, not me. And when I listen to them, for that reason, I'm therefore always surprised how complex the songs are and how insightful. It's strange, really. I go like, gosh, it's brilliant, how did you know? Well, then I remember. Have you started to work on new material? Oh gosh, you're nosy. Yes, I actually have. I have recorded an album. Well, now you know. And if it goes to plan, it will be out in February. Thank you for your answers. Oh, you're welcome. I guess that you hate interviews and that it seems useless for you to explain something that we should be able to feel when listening to your music. Would you say there's a part of you suffering when you face promotional obligations? Well, it's not that I expect people to understand any of the Sopor albums, what they are about, or even to feel what I feel. I mean, that's silly, it's ridiculous, it's impossible. No, the reason why I find interviews that are meant to promote an album extremely difficult, if not to say downright annoying, is because all I wanted to say, all I needed to express has been said on the album in question. In other words, when an album is completed, I have nothing left to say. So, each time I receive questions from magazines, my reaction is always, God, can't you just listen to the album and leave me the fuck alone? Well, that's it, there you have it. Sorry.